As you all know, we have State of Emergency Wednesday. This all came about as a result of the Trayvon Martin case, which sadly is still going on with George Zimmerman. But the dropout rate with our kids and the violence with our kids, the summertime is here. We're going to get into a lot more violence. You know it's going to happen. We're going to be reported here. The question is, what are we going to do about it? On the phone line with us right now, Ameena Matthews from Ceasefire. And she's worked with kids in Chicago for a long time. She's the daughter of Jeff Ford. Anybody in Chicago knows about the Blackstone Rangers and El Rookin. What is going on, Ameena, with these kids dropping out of school? If they drop out of school, what's going to happen?
If they drop out of school, 10 times out of 10, they're going to end up in the penitentiary system. And I just was doing a panel with the Safety Networks organization, Mike, and that was one of the things. Yeah, we can talk about gangs. We can talk about, law enforcement. But the bottom line, Mike, is education. We got to educate our guys and our girls from history, from the back end to the front, far as from slavery and all of that, and the history of my old man, and the history of wherever their membership
makes a
life,
difference.
It makes a big difference because what angers me so, and I let these guys know. What you do in the third grade, as far as your ISAT test and your attendance, they're building federal penitentiaries for us.
That's right.
So you got to understand that. So we got to educate, and we can't be afraid of these guys. They really want you to reach out to them.
They do.
They're just afraid that you're going to judge them because they don't know what 1 + 1 is 2. They don't know that, but it's okay if you don't know, brother. I'm willing to work with you and let you know what it is and how we can make that happen so you can grow to be a productive member of society, Mike, because we need these guys and girls. They're going to determine if we get Social Security or not.
That's right. Ameena, you've been working out here with the kids a lot, and I saw the film The Interrupters. By the way, we have it on Baisden Live on Twitter and Facebook. And the way you're talking to these young people, it's like they were all good and all cool if you approach them with respect.
If you approach them with respect and snatch them with some love and let them know, you know about snatching.
I know what you mean, right.
And you know what snatching is, and snatching them with some love and let them know. And I give them, it's like really a lot of people have families that are locked up and doing a lot of time because that's what the system wants, to give our young guys and girls a boatload of time, knock their head off with a lot of time, and a lot of things that's going on here, where you're at, is just unacceptable. Lack of education. It's not poverty. Because when we grew up, Mike, I didn't know that we were poor,
exactly.
But we were under the poverty line.
Right.
We
were all broke. We're talking to Ameena Matthews right now from Ceasefire in Chicago. If you have not seen the film The Interrupters, you've got to check it out. What are some of the reasons why these young people are dropping out of school, Ameena? What do they tell you?
Well, you know what? Because they are not. Well, Mike, it's not that they don't tell us. It's that we know that we're dealing with these young guys and girls and their moms, because the moms are very young. We're dealing with the crack epidemic families that may have some mental or emotional issues that have not been treated and dealt with, and then they put in a mainstream school, and the teacher is going curriculum, and we're losing our kids because they're not understanding that fast pace. They're not understanding what they need to do. And for another thing is, because they don't understand, they don't want you to judge them. They want you to understand that, I got ADHD, or I was addicted to heroin when I was a kid, and I got, and I'm on medication, or I stopped taking medicine. That's why I smoke loud, and I don't want to smoke anymore, but I'm hooked. Can you get me in treatment?
We don't even understand what's going on with these kids, and we're judging them, and once they get judged, they're going to start just rebelling from us, man, and not communicating with us, and we cannot have our kids doing that. First of all, I love everything that you're doing. You got to keep it up. You got to keep coming on the show and giving us that perspective, because not many people are out there in the streets putting their hands on these kids the way you are.
And I'm snatching them. And whatever you need for me to do, Mike, I need you to come out. We didn't get a chance to connect because it was our Mother's Day weekend, but whatever you need from me, I'm your sister, and we're going to make this, we're going to change it. We're going to do it 1, 2, 10 children at a time, and they mamas. We got to get them too. So whatever you need, and if you guys can, hook me up with at Twitter, Ameena Matthews and Al Hafiz. That's our initiative that we got going on, which means the protector. We're doing a lot of good things with these young guys and girls.
Well, you can reach a lot of people, Ameena, by coming on this show and reaching all this audience of millions of people that are listening in the 77 cities we're on and making a difference, because I love what you say when you say the kids want us to get involved with them. Don't be scared of our kids. That's one of the most important messages of the day.
They need you. You know what, Mike? Just to, I know you got to go, but your station and the music that you play. In the area that I work in Inglewood, and there's a barber shop on every corner, and then, they got it on here is 106.3, and they juking, they housing, they crying, they stepping, they doing all that to you, and then you're raising their thinking and giving them something to think about. You're piquing their interest. So I love you, brother. May God continue to bless you. My husband loves you. He went to both of your book signings, and whatever you need from me, I'm at your service.
Well, I'll tell you what else I want to do, too.
You want me to come back tomorrow? I'll be on point tomorrow.
I tell you what I want to do, though. I want to get you as many books as you want to start passing out to those young men, because I'm going to tell you, reading changed my life, and sometimes it just takes a good book. I want to get you hundreds of copies of Men Cry in the Dark and let you pass them out to these young men.
You know what? And you had my husband crying in the dark, too, after that meeting, after that book signing. He really appreciates on 95th over West by Western. So we really appreciate you, that God put you in a position to get that piece of education out. You're doing something huge. You're doing something huge, brother. And that's how we really got our marching orders back in the day. By radio.
That's right.
By radio. That's how Brother Martin, that's how Malcolm, that's how we got our marching papers on where we're going to meet, what we're going to do, how we're going to act, how we're going to let them treat us, and what it is that we need to do as a people. And you're taking it back, so let's keep going.
This woman is doing her thing. Check out right now on Baisden Live on Twitter and Facebook. Ameena Matthews with Ceasefire. You got to check out the film, The Interrupters, and I'm going to send her hundreds of books. Men Cry in the Dark is a great book for a lot of these young men to start reading. Unfortunately, a lot of men don't read that book until they get in prison. We got to get them reading outside of prison to keep them out of prison.